if you're a subscriber to this channel and you pop in regularly to see what I'm up to, number one, thank you very much. I do appreciate your support. Number two, you will have seen that I'm back into Blade Runner big time at the moment. And I've just finished Love's Blaster and I wanted another project. Now, the first idea was to dust off my old Fujimi spinner for This Is It, which I've had for a very long time. I think actually I built this when the kit first came out, and it's a lovely kit. And my first thought was to source some figures and put them inside, because I got this, I think, from Hobby Link Japan when it first came out, and it was only afterwards that the after sales kits came out, you know, with the lighting kit for it, the brass etch to put inside, and figures. And I've kind of like regretted it. It's like, oh, why didn't I hold off? It would have been nice to put some figures in. But my initial thought for my next Blade Runner project was to get a couple of figures, a Gaff and a Deckard, and ping this canopy off, because I'm pretty darn sure that's just held in place with PVA glue. So theoretically, that should come out all right. Paint the figures up, put them in, and then do what I've done recently, which is download all the multi-part videos, because back in the day when I made this, they were multi-part videos. Stitch them together with an update of putting the figures in, all right? So that was my first idea, and I think I will still be doing that, so stay tuned. That is going to happen sometime down the line. But before that, I remembered that Fujimi did other vehicles from Blade Runner, all right? So let's move my old kit out the way and say hello to my new kit, which is Deckard's Sedan, Deckard's police car. Again, made by Fujimi, again, 1/24th scale. And it's just arrived, looking forward to this. Somewhere, I'll have to dig it out, I've got a horrible, I think 1/35th scale, one piece resin model of this. One piece of resin, even the windscreen, it was all one thing, and it's pretty naff. I'll see if I can dig that out during the build of this. But yeah, it's just come, so this is the unboxing. And like I say, Fujimi are a brilliant kit maker, and the Blade Runner spinner was just superb. You know, I mean, let's just fly him back in, and you can see just the amount of decals that you got. You also had at the back, the spinner logo is actually metal. That spinner logo there, all right? So yeah, I'm expecting good quality stuff, so let's see what we've got. So let's pull back. So I have absolutely no idea what these bits are. Clear canopy and headlights, etc, etc. I don't know if there's a lighting kit for this model, but I won't be lighting it. That's interesting. Bit of tubing or wire in there. A lot of chrome. Not a fan of chrome, unless it's a very, very chrome thing on the original. More clear parts. So underside. That packets the body and the wheels, and yeah, brass rod for the wheels, so you can push it along if you wish. Rubber tyres, all good. And that's the interior, isn't it? Yeah, and there's the chairs. Because what I'm thinking is, when those two figures come, if I can get the canopy off of the spinner, I'm going to put Gaff in the spinner and Deckard in his own car. That's the plan, but we'll see. Let's move this out of the way. Let's have a look. I guess these are the instructions, I guess. Yep, instructions. got? Oh, ooh, that's nice. I guess that's just an advert for the spinner, which I've already got. Oh no, that's 1/43rd scale. I'm guessing that means 1/43rd. So this is a new model. Well, I have to look into that. Right, so all the parts. Oh, this is decal placement. So there's a decal sheet in here. 10mm, 18. So that, so that tubing is for all the cables. Oh, this is good then. This is a measuring guide. You cut out the 10mm piece, and that's part number 1, and then you stick it on. Oh, this is going to be fun. As I say, Fujimi are a good kit manufacturer. Yeah, it looks all very straightforward, doesn't it? Yeah. I think the biggest question is going to be what colour orange the car was. I've just been, back in the day, there used to be a brilliant forum, back in the days of forum, called Prop Summit, which was a Blade Runner forum. And I go on it, and it's very frustrating because it's got a ton of informative information. But nobody goes on it anymore, I guess, because now you've got Facebook pages and stuff. It's not needed, and it's a real shame. But it is a fabulous resource. I'll put a link below so you can have a look for yourself. I tend to be the only person that goes on it now. But somebody the other day said, to be or not to be Prop Summit, should it close? And I've replied and said, no, please don't let it close. You know, it is a real mine of information. And yeah, I'll be popping back there to see if there is a recommended colour orange for the car, because I know the blue for the spinner has been open to speculation and conjecture over the years. Oh, and there's the decal sheet. Is this I think that's for a display inside. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's a relief. I won't have to paint the that logo that's on the roof. I wasn't looking forward to doing that, but you'd need a bit of microsole and microset to do it. But oh, cool. So yeah, new project, new Blade Runner project is a go. So yeah, I'll be back with things snipped off the sprues and sub-assemblies, I suppose. Okay, so step 1 is to assemble the wheels, but as the wheels are chrome and I don't want to have them chrome, I'm holding off on this section until I've sprayed them, primed them and sprayed them in silver. All right. Step 2 is attaching them to the underside, so of course that's not happening yet. But what I have done is all of this here. Well, nearly all of it. So basically up here you've got to put in the foot pedals, something on the back. This section here goes down and that's clear, right? So obviously that's holding off, that's his rear windscreen, all right? And then these 2 bits go down into that frame, all right? And then you made this little assembly, and then you have the dashboard affair. Right, so that's what I've done. So here we go. This is the, obviously where the 2 chairs are going to go. That's the foot pedals in. I don't know why these pieces are chrome. I really don't. And I'm not going to have them as chrome. They're that way around, aren't they? Yeah, I don't know why they're chrome, but I'm not going to have them chrome. None of this is going to be chrome. So that's that part. This is that little bit there. That is that. Beautiful fit. Absolutely beautiful fit. And then, yeah, the dashboard. Now, I'm holding off putting on the steering wheel until I'm done. But here we have the dashboard. Now, it says that the interior is a tan. So I've got to source a tan spray. I'm thinking Tamiya, because I always get a nice finish off of that. And you have a decal go here for the display. And I see that there's an after sales kit of brass etch and what have you, but I'm not going to light this up. I haven't lit up the Deckard spinner, so I'm not lighting this one up. There's going to be a decal there, so yeah, I've got to spray that in primer and spray it tan before I can put it in. And it's the same as well, you know, with the interior there. All right. The other thing before I sign off is they have arrived, the two figures. This is them, and they are available from Cosmic Scale Models. 2 resin figures, 25 quid. Gets you a gaff and a Deckard. And this is basically the illustration you see on their website. And I'm always a bit worried when the only illustration you get is a 3D version of it. I'd rather see what it looks like once it's been printed out. But I was very pleasantly surprised because they look pretty darn good. There's Deckard, like so, and there's gaff. Look at armless. There's gaff there, and no, they're pretty good. I like them. So yeah, the Deckard figure is definitely going into this car. Now I've got to attempt to get the canopy off of my spinner, and I'll be painting gaff and putting him in. Right, a real short update. I've decided I am going to keep those chrome, because all you're going to see is like the hubcaps, aren't you, once the tyres are on. I was going to spray them grey and then silver, but that's not chrome. That's not far off the silver that it would have been anyway. And I am thinking about maybe doing a bit of weathering and splashes and stuff like that. So I'm keeping them as is, I've decided. All I've done here is put the dashboard section, plopped it down, and I blue tacked the seats in place. This is all going to get a coat of grey primer, and I've ordered the I think it's called wood tan, Tamiya wood tan. Seems a nice light tan, which will be all the inside. Obviously I have to take the chairs out to paint them separately. And then basically what you've got here, all these pieces here are the gubbins that go in the back. All right, and it's a mixture of chrome and just white plastic, but they're all going to get a spray of grey primer, and then they've all got to be painted separately. And then yeah, all the bumper affairs that go round the car are all black, so everything on sprue D, for this is sprue D, are black bumpers. So all this is going to get a grey primer and then a coat of black. Oh, and also before I go, yeah, got Deckard out of the bag. He's a little bit soft, but once he's in the car and under the canopy, I don't think he's going to look too bad. 1/24 scale is not too small that I'm not going to attempt the pattern on the shirt. I can see where the light is reflecting. Can you see on his chest there? We got the old striation lines, because yes, this is indeed 3D printed. I found that out when I saw inside his bumhole and these little spurs that have been snipped off. So he is 3D printed. It doesn't look like the lines are on the coat, which is good. And the ones on the shirt, he's got a multi-checked pattern on the shirt, so shouldn't be too apparent. So he's going to get a warm soapy bath, and I'm going to get the primer out now. Problem: the figures are designed to fit in the spinner, and I'm thinking the spinner must have more leg room, because he doesn't fit. This is going to fall apart, but yeah, no, actually, let me take the dashboard off and I can show you what I mean. Come on. Like so. Oh, Rick, doesn't fit. So, because the dashboard is quite low, I'm going to have to sever him in mid-leg, about there, and hopefully you won't see once that's on there. So let's sever his legs and put some primer on him, and hopefully he will then fit. All right, so yeah, that's the next step. Okay, so I've sprayed the underside the same gunmetal I bought for Robbie the Robot, and have attached the wheels. I'm quite glad I didn't paint the hubcaps, because they're going to be partially covered up anyway, and as I say, they're not as chrome as they could have been. So that's that. The instructions have it that the whole interior of the car is the tan, but I was watching the scene where Deckard's just checking the papers, the whole what are you doing here? I'm working. What are you doing? I'm arresting. That moment. And the shot is that way, and you can see the side of his door, and it seems to be a mid-bluey grey. So that's what I'm going with, mid-bluey grey. I'm going to pick out all these gubbins that are going on in there in metallics, and then give that a good wash. This bit is, well, it looks to be mainly the main colour of the car. So once I'm done there, I'm going to mask all that up, and when I get the colour for the car, I'll be spraying that, right? So that's going to be kind of like sitting on there like that. And yeah, an amputated Deckard. Severed him at the knees, and he's now Lieutenant Dan, basically. But no, he fits in there fine. He fits in there just like so. And as you see, he's in his white primer. So while I'm waiting for the car colour to come and the tan colour to come, I can start working on the driver. So I was busily squirting away with the spray cans yesterday. That's all the bumpers in matte black, which is never matte. It's got a sheen to it, but that's all right. That's kind of like rubberized paint, that kind of looks like. Here we have a sprue of chrome. As I say, I don't like chrome. So I've sprayed them grey, and I'm going to paint them silver, all except for here. You've got the rear of the headlights, but I'm thinking I might have to respray the back of some of these. I've got to have a look before applying them, just, you know, if you can see behind them. All right, so that's that. And then the front of the dashboard and the chairs are a tan. Now, I like using Tamiya paints, but Tamiya do a number of tans. But looking at reference photos, the few reference photos there are of the car, it's quite a light tan, and this is wood tan, which is lighter than their average tan. And then, yeah, looking at those reference photos, the big question is, what colour is Deckard's car? Some people maintain it's red, some say it's orange, some say it's bronze, some say it's copper, some say it's a mix, some say the bottom half is like burgundy, and it's real tricky. It's real tricky to work out what colour it was. In fact, there's only one shot when Deckard gets out his car, and you see him from the back, and he's going to cross the road to Sebastian's apartment. In the far right-hand corner, you can see the car, and just for the briefest second, a spotlight shines on it, and you can see it. I must say that if you do Google image Deckard Sedan, you do get some lovely clear photos of it at a show or something, but it was repainted after filming, so that colour is not correct, which is a really quite bright orange. But somebody on the RPF, luckily there's a thread on the RPF about making this kit, and the guy on there, sorry, I should have made a note of your name, so Joe suggested this, which is Rover Blaze, or Rover Orange Blaze. It's far darker than it's appearing at the moment than this. Next time I do a bit of filming, it will be in a different light and it will look different. But yeah, that's the colour. Yeah, it's not that bright. Trust me. All right. If I can. No, the bright light is just making that very bright. It's not. It's quite a dark, reddy orange, almost going into a brown. All right. So yeah, I've sprayed inside and out on the main body shell and the almost a cockpit, but the interior, the front, I was painting the grey. I've just masked that all off because that's all the machinery that he has at the back. So let's take that off and start applying things. Oh, and I'm coming back and saying, forgot to say, Deckard, just got to start working on highlights and picking out his eyes. His coat, sorry, it's early in the morning. His shirt, luckily, when he goes to see Sebastian, it's the dark blue affair with grey dots. So that's what I'm doing. Some of them are rather too big. I've got to go back over them with the blue and reduce them down. And I've got to pick the tie out. But yeah, Deckard is underway. Well, Deckard's face is done. His hair is done, although far too shiny. It's like he uses Timotei or something. So I've got to put some matte varnish on that, dull that down. As you can see, trousers are done. Just got to work out the colour for his trench coat. On here, I've picked out some details. Chairs are in. The instructions say to paint the middle black, so that's what I've gone with. Stuck all the things that go in the boot area, sorry, trunk area. So glad I didn't leave those chrome. That would have looked very garish. Yeah, small, oh no, hang on, before I get to the smaller, decals are on for his dashboard. Word of advice, if you're going to make this kit, this is one large decal, but as you can see just here, you've got a raised bit and then quite a drop. That won't work no matter how much Microsoft and Microcell you use. That won't work. Luckily, I checked by, just holding the decal to the light, and I could see that it was one long decal. So I basically just trimmed it, and that fitted fine. I think I might put a wash, just a very light wash into the recesses. A little bit of weathering, but not too much. It looks pretty white in the shots you can see. A small setback in that I was just about to put the windscreen in, and what I hadn't realised is, because I don't very often do car kits, but can you see? Yeah, just here and here, there's upright bracing bits which are meant to be the same colour as the body of the car. So it's a bit of a pain. I've got to mask them up now, spray them in primer and spray them with the Rover Blaze. So that's a bit of a delay, but also I also figure there's another bit I've missed off spraying, and that's like the windscreen wipers and everything else. So yeah, mask up, prime time again. Well, I'm rather miffed today. I've made a mistake. When putting spraying the upright struts, I masked them off, but then I thought to save on masking tape, I did this one first, masked it all up, that was fine, and then I did this one. When I went to do this one, I masked it up, and I thought to save on tape, what I'd do is I'll just wrap this back section in cling film, okay, because I figured it would be a way of saving on masking tape. I wish I bloody well hadn't, because it appears that this Rover Blaze must be a solvent-based paint. And what it has done, it has affected the cling film and basically partially melted the cling film onto the window. And there is absolutely no way I'm going to get that off. And I'm stuck with it. And it's bloody sod's law that it would be at exactly the point where you would look at the Deckard figure. It couldn't have been on that side, could it? No. But at least it's not on the main windscreen. So I'm stuck with it. So that is now either, you could say that some rain, which was falling down the windscreen, or a bit of damage from the street urchins that attack his car. I don't know. There's no going back. I can't do anything about it. There's no way that will polish out. So onwards then, the next step is to start attaching all the bumpers. I'm hoping once more things are on there, the eye is drawn away from my cock-up. All right, so everything here has been put together. Seems a bit weird him having a steering wheel, but there you go. That's 2 coats of matte varnish on his hair, and he's still a bit too shiny, but you know, I think once the windscreen's in, it's not going to be too apparent. All right, so that's the lower half all ready to go. With the top half, as you can see, I've put the some of the details in. I've picked this area out in silver. I've got to wash that down, got to wash these down, clean it all up, windscreen wipers on, this top assembly is on, complete with red light. Now I'm going to differ from what it suggests in the instructions. It says to put, you know, the wing mirrors on and etc, etc. No, I'm gonna, if I do what they say to do and then put the top half onto the bottom half, that's a lot of manhandling to do. I'd rather do that now, put the 2 halves together before finishing off. So let's do that. Yeah, really not far to go now. I've got some touching up to do. I hadn't realised when I sprayed the bumpers black, you see an awful lot of the insides. So I've got to paint in there. All right. Yeah, I still haven't done the non-oil on the metallics. All I've got to do now really is attach the silver piece that goes here. There's a little doohickey that goes on here. The wing mirrors I've got to put on, and then yeah, it's all that cabling. Oh yeah, I've got to do some darkening down washes on the metallics there, and then I've got to put the wiring in. Looking forward to that, and then decals on, and then we're done. So I think I'll come back when she's finished. Okay, so with the last few little detail pieces put on, decals applied, it's done. I wasn't that keen on the chrome wheels that I'd left. They looked a bit too shiny, even though the rest is like factory finish. They were just a bit too shiny. So I've splattered some mud on them and along the skirting. Not too much. I didn't want it to be like a Mad Max vehicle. I figure the streets of Los Angeles 2019 are pretty washed through, what with the continual rain, but there's got to be a lot of muck. So yeah, he's got mucky wheels. All right. So there we go. That's it done. Lovely kit, went together very well, very comprehensive. Decals were fine. The decal up top, I was a bit worried about because that has got raised detail. That's disc surface. But I just put microset on first and that applied, no problem. All right, so lovely kit, great fun to do. Unfortunately, yeah, this marking is not good. I've got to bear that in mind because my next Blade Runner vehicle I'm going to be doing will be the police car, and I'm certainly not going to be using cling film when I go to mask off that one. All right, so yeah, that's a bit of a shame, but all in all, well, it's been a great build, great fun to do. I think before we go, I'll just bring in my spinner so we can compare the size of the two alongside each other. All right, this is my next little project vehicle-wise before I reach the police car, is to just tweak the interior of that and put the gaff figure in. So that will be coming soon. All right, okay, that's it. I'm out of here.